Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome to all of you who are here and all of you who are watching at home. So, today's message is around the theme of work, and I'd like to introduce the people who are volunteering in the service. You've just heard I Have a Dream, which we all love, by ABBA, played by Bienvenido Yangco, which is also the topic of my message today, Living Your Dream. So with us today are Terry O'Hara on piano, John Hargis on drums, and our guest soloist is Stephan Plummer. So we welcome them today. So on platform today is Doug Taylor, and holding high watch is Beverly Holland, both practitioners with us. So I'm going to ask that Doug come up and lead us in a meditation and opening prayer, and then we will also hear from Reverend Matthew Brack with a special reading today. So, Doug?
Thank you, Rev.Frances. So I invite everyone, both at home and here today, to go ahead and sit comfortably. Just allow that sofa, that chair to hold you and support you. And just take in and release a few calming, relaxing breaths, being here in this moment. And if you like, close your eyes or find a spot out in front of you in which you can have a soft gaze. And just allow yourself to feel this awesome life of being alive. And know that there is this wonderful universal intelligence that surrounds me and each and every one of us and is within us. It's that life force of goodness, of love, of caring, of abundance and prosperity. It is that universal intelligence that is dreaming each and every one of us as unique expressions of this life force we may call God. And knowing that this life force, God, universal intelligence, is flowing through me, I know that I am living the dream of God. I know that you, each one of you, is living the dream of God. So I ask you to recall a time when maybe a small dream or a large dream came into your life. Maybe it was connecting with the person you really wanted to connect with. Or maybe that wonderful red bicycle for a gift. Whatever that wonderful dream that was realized in your life, I really want you to picture that and feel it in your body. What was that like to experience that dream come true? I can only imagine that that same feeling is God's feeling of us coming true as manifestations of spirit. And knowing that this dream is happening right here today, right now, both in your homes and here in this sanctuary, we are living the dream, God's dream. And we can also embrace our own unique dreams as manifestations of spirit, of God. And knowing this to be true, I know Rev.Frances' words. I know that the musicians, the sound crew, and everyone that helped make this service possible is living their unique dream of expressing God in the world here and now today. And knowing this to be true, I release my word unto the law, knowing that it is done. That creative process of the law happens when we put those positive intentions out there. And it becomes so. And so together we can say, and so it is.
Good morning. This is a Ricky Byers Beckwith song, Pour Yourself in Me. So please join us. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, and your joy. Pour your joy in me. Pour your joy into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, shine your light. Shine your light in me. Shine your light into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, sing your song. Sing your song in me. Sing your song into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Sing your song. Sing your song in me. Sing your song into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Whoa, wonderful Spirit.
Fabulous. So at this time, Reverend Matthew is going to do a reading for you.
Good morning. It's wonderful to see you today. The sun is shining in the windows on this late summer, early fall day. So I have a beautiful reading for you today. It's out of our wonderful book, The Science of Mind, written by Ernest Holmes. And the reading today is titled, Never Limit Your View of Life. Never limit your view of life by any past experience. The possibility of life is inherent within the capacity to imagine what life is, backed by the power to produce this imaginary or divine imagination. It is not a question of failing or succeeding. It is simply a question of sticking to an idea until it becomes a tangible reality. The illusion is in the way we look at things. We have looked at poverty, degradation, and misery until they have assumed gigantic proportions. Now we must look at harmony, happiness, plenty, prosperity, peace, and right action until they appear. When we are making a demonstration, we pay no attention to what happens in the objective world. We interpret causes by conditions, only as we realize that a condition must partake of the nature of its cause. If there appears to be confusion in the condition, then there must have been confusion in the thought back of it. We pay no attention to the objective expression, so as long as we know we are getting the right subjective recognition. The way scientifically to work out a problem is daily in thought to conceive of it as already being an accomplished fact in experience. we realize the desire is already embedded in the absolute, we are dealing with nothing less than the absolute, with reality. During the process, many things may happen that appear to be destructive. We may pass through good fortune and bad, but if we can come to a point where we are not disturbed by things, we have found the secret. If, as Jesus said, we judge not by according to appearance, but judge righteousness, judgment, remembering that things which are seen are not made of things which do appear. If I repeat, we can judge in this manner. Out of any chaos, we can produce harmony. And I have one last little piece I want to read to you. It's called Complete Confidence. My confidence in all good is complete. My faith in the power of Spirit is supreme. I have no doubts nor uncertainties. I know that my good is at hand, and I realize that no fear can hinder that good from making its appearance in my life and affairs. I know that my life and my good are complete. Evil cannot touch nor hinder my work. I rest in the security, for this one mind is my complete refuge and strength. I am serene and confident. Thank you.
So I'd like to do a song now by Carole King. Actually, I think the program says a different name, but which, you know, there's different songs that have the same name and everything, but this particular one is by Carole King. And I know no one can make us happy, right? But Reverend Matthew makes me happy. Doesn't it make you happy? Yeah, you do. Okay, here we go. Live the color of your dreams. Know everything you see is not quite what it seems. Take everything you have to give. If you believe it, you can make it what you want to. All you gotta do is say you will. Go for the vision in your mind. Throw all your doubt away, just leave it all behind. You are the owner of the game. Nothing will ever be the same once you have played it. You know you're gonna win if you just say you will. Everything you'll ever need, you already know. The only place to go is where angels ride the sunset and heaven lies below. So dream that today is when you fly. Let the wings of your destiny carry you through the sky. Take everything you have to give. If you believe it, you can make it what you want to. And be living in the color of your dreams. Be living in the color of your dreams. Be living in the color of your dreams. Be living in the color of your dreams.
Well, good morning, everyone. So, living everyday wonder work is the theme for the month, and today's talk title is "Living Your Dream." And so many people in the world are on a quest for their dreams. But what does that really mean for you? When it comes to your work or being in the world, are you living your dream? So we've been talking about work this whole month, and work is really an extension of one's passion in the world, and yet we're spiritual beings living out of a spiritual experience. So the work that we do also contains the obvious spiritual elements of meaning and meaningfulness, good and goodness. And it's an opportunity really to do all the good we can. And so it's just more than a result. It's how we take every opportunity to do that good. So whatever your vocation, you may be retired, but this is still an opportunity to discover and develop a passion for doing work that you find enjoyable and meaningful. And you're invited to take your lens of everyday wonder and bring your work into greater focus. Do more than just dream your dream. It's time to bring your dream to life within you and ultimately all around you. So, Artist Holmes in Creative Mind said, "Wake up! Your word is all powerful." It's the consciousness of omnipotence, and your thought is infinite. Your destiny is eternal, and your home is everlasting heaven. And then in this thing called you, he said, seek to make your work a prayer. You're believing an act. You're living an art. It's then that the object of your faith will be made visible to you. And it's then that you will kiss the lips of your desire. I love that. Kiss the lips of your desire. And in What Can We Talk to God, Holmes says we're chemists in the laboratory of the infinite. What shall we produce? I had an interesting experience with this whole quote on, the key is how you use your word. Maria and I were exchanging vegetables with a neighbor because he has this lush garden, and this other fellow has also a garden at Tupac, which is an organization on Martin Luther King on Hilltop. And so he came over with a basket of all the goodies that he had, and we came up with a basket of all the goodies we had, which are green beans and cherry tomatoes and squash. And I pointed out to this giant zucchini on our table. I said, "That's zucchini bread, and I am ready to make it, but it's just too much work to grate." Have you ever used a hand grater? I don't. And the guy that was sitting at the table, he said, "Well, you need a food processor to grate." And he said, "I have one brand new, never been used in my garage, and I'm going to give it to you." So that's an example. Speak your word. I mean, I've been thinking about that for quite a while, but I spoke it out loud, and bingo. And then the next day he said, "I've got it for you." And he brought over this huge food processor with all the parts. So, when that happens, you think, the universe really is with me. I mean, I have a friend, that is taking care of me. So when we're really able to tap into the mystery and magic of wonder, the journey extends way beyond a salary or status and so on, but to the significance of what we achieve day by day, hour by hour. And you could ask the question, how are we making the world a better place? And one of the buzzwords today is engagement, work that's engaging, work that draws you in, holds your attention, tugs at your heartstrings, or gives you a sense of self-worth. So a clear point of engagement is the level of meaningfulness found in work that seems to help other people. And so the second thing is to be a waymaker. Being good at your work gives you a sense of achievement and adds value to your organization or to your own business. And there's also an intrinsic value found in volunteering, philanthropy, doing good in the world. The thought of dream work is sometimes less about the work itself, but about what it can add to a person's life beyond the role. One of my dreams was, in the past, was to have a foundation, and it would be called the Frances Foundation. And so I was thinking about that. You know, I've done a lot of things. I probably have had 9 lives already. But I was thinking about that. Well, the one thing I didn't do was to have the Frances Foundation be engaged in philanthropy. You know, the next day I got this thing from what's the job search thing? I got this notice, huh? No, not Angie. I got one of those employment things, and it was 5 people from the Gates Foundation have been looking at your resume for philanthropy. So be careful what you think about. Your word is powerful. Anyway, some people may not get everything that they want for their fulfillment of their life with a 9-to-5 job. So it's possible just to find the work that takes care of the necessary things while allowing you time for enjoying and building great relationships along the way. So the key to living a dream is to make it work so that it addresses your interests and passions without limiting all of your options. So you may not be in your dream profession, but it's possible to become passionate about new areas through the spiritual practice of everyday wonder. And maybe you're fulfilling your passion through service to organizations you care about. So the idea of helping others is the key to being fulfilled. That's hardly a new idea, but it's a theme from most major moral and spiritual traditions. Set your heart on doing good and do it over and over again, and you'll be filled with joy, Buddha said. A person's true wealth is the good they do in the world. Muhammad said that. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's actually from the 10 Commandments. And every person has to decide whether they'll walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness. So there's a little story about a mouse and a frog that meet every morning on the river bank, and they sit on the ground and they talk. And each morning, the second they see each other, they open up easily, and they tell stories and share their dreams and secrets, empty of any fear or suspicion, and they don't hold back. And to watch and listen to these two is to understand how, as it's written, sometimes 2 beings come together and the spirit becomes visible. And that's from Rumi, from Coleman Barks' translation. So if your work helps others, if you can get better at it, there's a good chance you can become passionate about it. The quiet wisdom among all these thoughts is to never give up on what speaks to and through you. Or as Parker, we talked about him a few weeks ago, said, let your life speak. So I'm working on a trip to Morocco in June of 2023, and I've recently come in touch with the Moorish American movement and the Mauritanian people, which is what Moroccans used to be called, Mauritanians. And it seems that they came to America in boats long before Columbus, both to North Carolina and Washington State, because they found Phoenician writing in these places. So I had a theory that the Moors, because they were such high civilization, you know, they had and were in charge of the world in the 8th century with astronomy and astrology and mathematics. And so it was a very high civilization. They were very tall, and they were the master traders of the world. So my theory was that they were Phoenician. Well, it turns out I was meeting with the Moorish American Institute yesterday, and indeed they are. And so my theory is true, and they have all the research that backs it up. But most importantly, they were the earliest settlers in America, along with some other indigenous tribes that came over about 10,000 years ago. And there's lots of evidence to that effect. So I was speaking to the city council member, Keith Blocker, about this, and he said that the story that's generally told about African Americans is they're children of slaves brought over in ignorance to America 400 years ago. But the real story of the roots of Africans were Phoenician, and they not only lived in Phoenicia, Libya, Spain, and Morocco, but were in America long before Columbus, working side by side with indigenous people, and especially the Iroquois, who had a confederacy of 5 tribes and a constitution that Ben Franklin used at the Constitutional Convention. So what a difference it would make in the lives of children if they knew the true history of their high consciousness origins, that their ancestors founded a great civilization that brought enlightenment into the world. After my retirement, I intend to work with others on that very story. And so this city councilman said, we were Phoenicians! And he practically was jumping up and down for joy. And he's soon to leave the city council, and I know he's going to be doing this too. So it's a little bit risky to do this because all of this history has been buried by European colonizers. So there's lots of work to do. and the third thing is to be a risk taker. You know, what have you got to lose? When living and examine life through questioning and reflecting and wondering, an outlet moves. So we can choose to become good at something that helps others, and being good at something allows you to discover within yourself what's good and what you can value. And wonder is what gives you the best chance to find your dream, or a good life fit for yourself. When we feel like we're making a valuable contribution, we can develop a passion for whatever we're doing and make it good for everyone. In Romans, it says, now it's high time to awake out of our sleep. And so the belief of a life apart from good is something that we have to awake from. And if we're to taste the waters of reality, it will flow from the source of life. So all of our beautiful dreams, all of our wishing and praying for material good won't reach a higher level in our experience than our belief in the power of God and in its willingness to help us, even if it's to get a food processor. It can be that simple. So with an invisible intelligence to guide us, let's take our place in some legitimate activity and cause our dreams to come to full fruition. So a colleague of mine had a chance to travel to New York, where she found herself strolling through the West Village on Saturday, enjoying the perfect weather. And when she got to Washington Square Park, she heard a piano playing. And a fellow had rolled in a full-size piano into the park's central walkway close to the square's east side. And so she sat down for a minute to listen to the music, and he was excellent. She wondered how he got the piano there. Did he push it himself? Did he have helpers to get around the corners, but mostly 7-inch curbs? And so it was quite a whimsical experience. And after each piece, he would add little ironic, sarcastic quips like, that piece was Ave Maria, composed by Franz Schubert. It was the only piece he ever composed that was good. He'd say stuff like that. So it was kind of opposite. He'd created such beauty, and then he'd say something really quirky. So my colleague wanted to go up and say, buddy, you've gone through the trouble of creating a little bit of fairyland magic here in New York City by dragging your piano who knows how far through the village. Just lighten up. And so she later realized that there was a spiritual message in his come on already, ringing silently to the tunes that he was playing. And that sometimes we go through the trouble of making something happen that we want, and then we don't allow ourselves to live into it. Sometimes grace is just simply letting ourselves live into our lives and dream into our dreams and know that that's enough. So one of the suggestions is to create a focus activity for your community, and that's already happened. Doug Taylor has created an opportunity to view a film this Wednesday, September 21, called Gratitude, with a discussion afterwards. And the film has opened in theaters this month, and he's organized a showing at 4 p.m. this Wednesday with a Q&A afterwards. We only had to pay $12 for it, but if you show it after the Wednesday, it costs $400 or something crazy like that. So anyway, gratitude is, of course, an essential spiritual practice, so we invite you to come to that and enjoy it. If you have class that evening, then the classes will follow. And earlier in the day, you can catch International Day of Peace at the Thea Foss Park from 11:30 to 1. So here are some questions to ponder. James Baldwin said to act is to be committed, and to be committed is to be in danger. So are your dreams for your life deep and big enough to put you in danger? And who in your life needs their dreams affirmed? Who near you is taking a risk? Who needs reminding others are watching with admiration and awe? And who needs help seeing that they aren't simply exposed, but radiant? And remind them about the words of Brene Brown, what makes you vulnerable makes you beautiful. So you can offer your advocacy to other people by sparking possibility and connecting people to their dreams. I was at a meeting yesterday, and it started with a check-in, and one of the attendees said she had just had a revelation that she didn't constantly need to worry about what other people thought about her, and that she didn't really need the approval of others. And I thought, what a liberating thought that is. What a great realization, I said to her. I always liked Terry Cole Whitaker, who said, what you think of me is none of my business. And the group all laughed. They acknowledged that truth, and the woman who just shared loved it. And that's advocacy for other people. So do you feel that you and your dream are enough? If yes, how did that sense grow in you? And if not, how can you reframe a sense of yourself to be enough and accept who you are finally? So Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, who wrote The Prince, said, what is essential is invisible to the eye. It's only with the heart that one sees rightly. And so let's do this affirmation together. The dream of God is awake and alive in me. Let's say it one more time. The dream of God is awake and alive in me. The dream of God is awake and alive in me. So choosing a well-lived life is a risk. And choosing to live the dream that's held deep in the heart, mind, and soul is even riskier. Still, the greatest risk of all is to die without truly living. So why not risk in the name of your dreams and a better way of being? So may everyday wonder be the light that guides you. It is the perfect path created by only your dreams and your presence in the world. And so today can be the day that changes everything. And it begins by living your dream. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rev.Frances. Let's give Rev.Frances another applause. Thank you so much. I love that. I wrote this song many moons ago. It's called Right Here and Right Now.
The empty page stares back at me, an endless sea of possibilities. Pen to the page, I pray God help me write them down. What I want and what I dream, I swam toward this inner peace. The holy gap beckons, everything's unfolding in divine order. Right here and right now, keep your heart open. Right here and right now, surrender into knowing you are a choice. You're free to choose. Right here and right now, it's all for our learning. Right here and right now, stay awake to this yearning and ask the question, what would God have me do now? Ask the question, what would God have me do now? Ask the question, what would God have me do now? And when I hear the answers, help me write them down. Thank you.
It's time for our offering. If the ushers would come forward. Thank you very much for your service today. So we like to say the blessing in the program. So it is together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. And so it is.
just allow yourself to feel that resonance of the music of how great thou art. The greatness of God, the greatness of Spirit that resides in each and every one of us and surrounds each and every one of us. So how do we live and experience our dreams for the good of others, the good of ourselves, the good of our planet? Well, I think our wonderful music today has kind of shown the way. It's right here and right now. Heart open. Inviting. Welcoming. And accepting Spirit and God. We are the dream expression of God. And through us, God expresses and manifests in the world. Looking for every opportunity to be grateful for this awesome, awesome experience. And I know that today's words from Rev.Frances, the great music, the wonderful support to make all this happen is good and awesome, and it's living the dream right here, right now. And I am so grateful for that. And I know that today, each and every one of us, both here in the sanctuary and at home, have been touched in some way. You may not notice it right now, but as you go through your day and through the week, just open your heart up to Spirit, right here, right now, and notice that dream being expressed through you and around you. Wow. Just absorb that goodness. And when I feel that Spirit moving through me, and I know each and every one of us has that ability to open through Spirit, we can just feel that goodness down to every cell in our body. And because of this, I'm thankful and grateful for this miracle manifestation called being a human, multi-dimensional being on this planet expressing the dream. And it's such a privilege to be able to be here and interact and have that interbeingness with all those around us and with the beautiful planet around us. We can each receive, accept, and contribute to this dream of God, of love, of prosperity, of goodness. And knowing this to be true, this is what healing is all about. Just accepting and opening to goodness, God, and Spirit. So thank you, Father, Mother, God, for this wonderful experience today provided by all of those who are here, starting with Rev.Frances, the great words and readings from Reverend Matthew, again, the musicians. And I could just go on and on and on in spirit. So thank you. And knowing that this thanks and this manifestation is good, I can release it unto the law, and together we can say, and so it is.
So there's some announcements. First and foremost, we wanted to let you know that Reverend Matthew accepted a position at Amazing Grace in Ballard, Seattle, and he is their new senior minister. And so we are celebrating with a party for him at 1 o'clock today. We've got all kinds of goodies and surprises, so we're not going to say them here in the service, but if you can, come back to that. There is also a membership meeting. Who would like to speak to that from the board?
I said 12:15.
Okay. And the purpose, could you go over the
Yeah.
purpose?
So there was an email that was sent out to all the membership that's on our mailing list. If you're not on our mailing list, you want to be on our mailing list, please make sure you get your email address to us. We have established that's how we will be communicating all transition issues to membership. In the meeting this afternoon, it will be to discuss the updates on the interim minister, to address, we'll be moving to one service and then having the membership vote on the time start of that service, whether it be 10:30 or whether it be 11. That will happen here at 12:15. We'll go to 1 o'clock. We also have the Zoom. If you're not able to make it, look at the email that was sent out. There's a Zoom invite or Zoom link. You can also join us via Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you. So if you have a concern about that and you like the service, you should go to the meeting at 12:15 and express your desire, okay? What's coming up? Wednesday is UN International Day of Peace at Theophos Park. There's a flyer out front. And then at 4 o'clock, did you want to say anything about the movie, Doug?
Yeah, I think we have a great opportunity to watch a great movie and to strengthen our practice of gratitude. So today, Wednesday at 4 here in the sanctuary, we'll be showing this film, which is brand new, called Gratitude. And there's just some great reviews about it. It's called Gratitude Reveal. You could go to YouTube and they have the trailer of it there. So hoping to see you all there. Thank you.
So it's going to be up, not down.
Well, we're looking at downstairs, but depending on our numbers, we may have to adapt.
Oh, well, it'd be great to have it up here on the
Yeah.
big screen, so that would be great. Okay, let's see, what else? We are having a workshop with, where is that? Oh, it's on the back. Love is the Beacon with Darlene Green. It's her last workshop in this series, but you don't have to have attended the other two to attend this one. It's this coming Saturday from 9:30 to 1. The cost is $45. You can either bring a check, but let us know if you're registering, because there's a really substantial packet that goes with the workshop that's profound. Really has been great to be a part of this series with her. So if you still would like to come, I just got a registration this morning. So let me know that you plan to go, or go online and register online. She's going to be talking about the sacred I am and sovereignty, a wonderful topic. We all would like to be sovereign, wouldn't we? So, let's see, I wanted to say one other thing. Next Sunday, we are going to celebrate Rosh Hashanah, which is the beginning of the Jewish New Year. Two musicians will be singing in Hebrew. I mean, we've got a really great program. Lucas Smeraldo, who's from a Jewish background, will be leading our Tashlik ceremony, which is your opportunity to release the old by floating crumbs on the water. And he has a song that we all sing together, and I think it's going to be a profound service next week, so be sure and join us then. And also meditations are every Thursday from 7 to 8:15 here, led by Drew Ebersol. So take advantage of some of these goodies, and especially come and see the movie with us, 4 o'clock on Wednesday. So thank you for being here today. We're going to have our closing song, which is I Am As God Created Me, one of my favorites.
And I invite you to sing along with us and stand and dance and all of that fun stuff. Say, hey. What's the chords? I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created
So coffee is served. We hope you'll join us at 12:15 today for the membership, the town hall meeting, and 1 o'clock to celebrate Reverend Matthew and his work. But you can have some coffee and tell him how much you've loved having him here. So